Yes, here we are on SpeedGaming 1. And what a match we have here. We have the lower bracket finals of Group I, featuring over here on your left, we have Tam, who defeated StarX7 or StarX 433 in the last round. And in the name of DT, who had a hard-fought series against F. Conflin, fell to him 2-1 to set up the lower bracket finals. Hail, friends, I'm Adirondack Rick, being joined by Willard J. Bradley. What's going on?
Video games. Video games is going on. That's what we're seeing right here. We're going to have an epic match between these two. And not only that, but a double header, as they're going to be doing their game 2 immediately after this one. And I am hoping for a close, hard-fought match. I want to see more matches come down to that Ganon fight. I like seeing matches come down to execution, and that's what I'm hoping for today.
Oh, I love those nice close finishes, and we hope that we have one here. And in the name of DT and Tam, these are two members of two particular teams that were in the same division in the last season of League.
Yep, DT, one of my teammates, along with JP. Tam, along with Werfjig and Revenant. Did you check your boot? Both teams making it to the Invitational finals, playoffs actually, and duking it out in some very close matches. So
yeah, in fact, you ended up having to take on that team in the first round of the playoffs there. In fact, you had to face off against Tam in one of those matches.
Yeah, I ended up actually, including the regulars week, I ended up playing against all three members of their team. And I may have 3-0'd them. May have.
Well, yes, you did. Well, here we go. We are underway. We get 10 arrows to begin things. Willard, we're going to be heading it over towards the escape area. And one of the big guessing games that we like to do at the very start of this run is to guess what the uncle's going to have after we get the look of the light world. It's going to be 6, 2, and 1. So we've got one of the 5, 6 crystals over at Eastern and crystals also at Desert and Hera. So what's the uncle going to give us?
Well, we did get 10 arrows in the house, so I can only assume we're going to get not the bow, because that'd be too convenient, even though it does give us a full 30 when we get it. But we're going to get the bow. Wow.
So those 10 arrows that you got at Link's house are going to go to waste. So over here, well, that's a very good start right there. We've got ourselves some bombs. So what is the sprite that Tam is playing? It looks like a Shy Guy that is a little modified.
Yeah, it's I don't know much about it other than it's a Shy Guy with, has he got green hair? Something like that?
Either that or an eye patch or something of that nature. But in the name of DT, he's not playing as his customary cursor because ever since game 2 of the series against Fred, he's been playing as Neil Peart, who is the drummer for Rush.
Quite an interesting. Imagine Link being taken out of the game and replaced with these characters, and the fact that these two are facing off against each other in game 1 makes it sound a lot more funnier than it being DT versus Tam. If you can have that imagination for a second.
DT making note that at the end of the broadcast against Tim and Fred for game number 2, that Neil Peart was one of his. It means a lot to him, and unfortunately, we lost Neil Peart, a year and a half ago now.
Yeah, it's kudos to the person that made this sprite. Shoutouts to them for that. What a lovely way to honor someone.
Absolutely. So naturally, we don't have much to talk about with regards to this escape because we've already got bombs. We've got the ammo we need to get ourselves through this entire escape sequence. So pretty much what can we talk about here? Let's make sure we get the rupees we need for Kakariko Village. Well, you've heard that before. What other things can we talk about? We can talk about how F. Conflin ended up winning this group, and he currently sits at number 31 of the 32 who will qualify for the upper part of the bracket when things begin coming up a week from today.
Yeah, it was an exciting game 3. I think it came down. I don't even remember. I think it came down to an ice rod hunt, of course, like most of these races this tournament. So let's just get that ice rod out of the way. Let's find it here in the back of Hyrule Castle. That'd be perfect.
Yeah, it would be really, really nice to make it so it's not one of those weird final location or one of those ones that you got to go through like 13 different locations and you just hope that your opponent didn't make that check sooner than you did.
I don't know what's better or worse, an ice rod hunt or a sword go mode.
I don't know, considering the fact that we had a sword go mode on one of our broadcasts about a half a week ago that came down to just two runners searching for go mode swords, found them in two different locations.
That was an exciting match. The thing
Yeah,
is,
that was...
you'd be surprised, with there being 4 swords in the pool and 3 of them which you can obtain. That well, ice rod there only exists one. And sometimes you find your ice rod before you find a second sword. Blows my mind.
Yeah, it all depends on where they decided to throw those swords, because sometimes they can put those the 3 remaining swords somewhere awful. Because the only thing that comes down is if you have Skull as well as Meyer and Turtle Rock as pendant dungeons, who knows what can happen in regards to your need for swords.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because, you need swords to defeat those dungeons, and you need swords to even get into 2 of them. And they're kind of out of the way. And the thing that will be interesting about this seed, other than the $100 we found in the Dark Cross, which is really nice, is we'll have 3 pendants in the Dark World, which already makes me wonder, what our eventual go mode's going to be. If we have that pendant Meyer and pendant T-Rock, if we're going to be able to skip getting Samaria the seed, or, we already know Eastern is a crystal, and we already have the bow, so they can't have that potential, bowless seed. But it's going to be interesting once we get to the Dark World to see what's going on there. I'm looking forward to seeing that.
So, how would you route this after you're done with this? So we get 6 bombs and a single rupee out of the back 3 of escape. How would you route this? Would you be a player that goes to Eastern Palace after this, or would you just still go to Kakariko Village hoping to get more?
I would still go to Kakariko at this point. It's a tough call, but you do have a bow, so you can complete Eastern. But without a fire source and without a sword or something that'll help you through the dark rooms, it can be kind of risky, especially with that only 3 HP. So I would still head to Kakariko. Safe bet you might find, a sword. That light source we're talking about. A flute is nice too.
You know what's really hype? When you have both runners coming through the escape at 5:45 in sync, almost.
Okay, I thought you were going to mention the double heart beep on Tam's side.
I'm not even going to bring up the double beeps. Tam warned us about those double beeps in the race room. Tam has warned us about the double beeps all throughout this entire tournament. It's on us for allowing it to happen. But DT skipping the Lost Woods early on, but he, I think, might want to just go ahead and activate that flute.
Yeah, that's interesting routing choice. One that I haven't seen, but yeah, you skip out on 2 checks. Maybe you get to route this. The thing is, I don't know when you would route that in later. I don't know when the convenient time to route it in, but it's gonna work out for him. Tam not finding anything here in the Lost Woods so far.
Yeah, a piece of heart and 20 rupees when you've already got enough rupees to purchase the Zora item. Not really going to be missing out on anything here, as DT will go ahead and get out of the back of escape. 20 more rupees, 217 rupees. We got enough for the bottle vendor, and now it's off to the well.
See, because I'm always thinking about Zora as a play, before getting to the Dark World, so I would already, at this point, be like, okay, cool, I have the flute, I'm going to skip Bottle Vendor, I can come back, check it, reset, get my $100 back, and hold on to them. But we're going to see still quite a few items left in this section. Drop into the well, we have Chicken Hut, we have the back of the tavern, and then even a peek at the library, and then the maze race, and then we're off. But DT gonna go ahead and buy the bottle vendor, holding on to that cane of Samaria. So
one of those items we possibly need to beat this game, depending on how the layout is, but it also is going to make 2 of our dungeons easier to navigate. So it's definitely a good find early on.
There is our first glove here in the back of Kakariko Well. One of the pieces of the puzzle that we need to get into the Dark World and get to the rest of the game. So that's a good find. doesn't really do much for us right now, aside from, being happy to have it. But DT gonna route north now.
Yeah, because now he's going to go ahead and check these 2 things, and then flute back to 3.
I do not like this route. This is a very long way to check these 2 items. If this was like, I'm going to check pedestal 2 because I have the book, and then get the 2 items, sure. But like, this is a walk.
All right, actually going to see how long of a walk this turns out to be, as Tam is right in that same position right at this moment. And looks like, in all, Tam will be just a smidge ahead.
Well, yeah, I mean, unless DT like saves and quits, you can walk out flute right back to Kakariko and only be a couple seconds behind. Interesting. We'll have to ask him about that one.
And continuing the route over here, DT going to show us what we have at the Lumberjack coming up in just a few moments here, as we didn't find anything all that neat in the chicken coop.
I was hoping while he was on his way up here, he'd check what the bush crab drop is. Only a heart piece here in Lumberjack Cave, so as far as we know, we won't need to defeat Aghanim. Of course, we don't know if that's going to be our means of getting into the Dark World yet. More to be revealed, as Tam pulls 300 rupees out of the bag of Tavern, now only 8 away from that Zora check.
Now we're going to get that library check, see whether or not we need the boots for anything of importance, and right there, it turns out to be just a piece of heart.
So now the question is, after all this, would you go straight to Eastern, or would you still do the South Shore before Eastern?
I think at this point you go to Eastern, and that's what Tam is doing. Like, the Cane of Samaria is going to help you out, at least get through a dark room if you need to.
Oh, and that is another good point. Having that glove there while you get up to the Eastern Palace entrance from the Flute 5 location quite a bit quicker. Of course, if there ends up being a very useful item in the back of Sahasrah's hut, like a sword or the lamp, you'd be feeling a little bad about it, but...
At this stage in the tournament, runners have got to be proficient about their darkroom exploration. Got to know how to do that stuff. DT going to go conventional South Shore route here and show us what we have inside of the dam first, and then head on over to the mini Mordorm cave as Tam pulls out 20 rupees, and the first of the 3 items that we can find in Eastern Palace.
Yeah, Tam does need to be careful, though. No safeties, down to a heart and a half. Going to find some hearts along the way here. There's quite a few hearts underneath pots, including that one. And even over here on the right side, underneath the chest, you can actually walk underneath the platform, and there's 3 pots with hearts in them.
Until I started seeing some of these randomizer races, and not even until maybe a year ago, I didn't even realize there were pots underneath the where that chest is.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Yeah.
I was shocked the first time I saw it. I was like, oh, neat. That seems, I don't know, that just feels like an Easter egg. I guess the developers thought you'd be, suffering, needing some hearts at that point. And just, rewarding players for exploring. Nice snipe there on the right side, Mini Moldern. DT about to grab 5 items in here. Let's see if we can find our Dark World progression or something else to lead us places. Blue Boomerang. More arrows. And a hook shot.
That's nice. With that flute, that gives us East Death Mountain access.
Just give us an ice rod, and it feels like we're playing one of the new modes over on the lair. Okay, 3 bombs in the big chest of Eastern. 1 more item to go. Gonna go ahead and check the right side here.
And for Tam, the difficulty is going to be spiking up here if he does decide to go to the Armos, which you're already here, you might as well. But the question is how much of the Igor is going to wreck you. If you lose control of that room, 3 hearts, you could be dead fast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they might have a bit of a struggle. I mean, thankfully, having that Cane of Samaria will allow them to take out the Popos that are in front of the Igor. But for the most part, you can kind of set up pretty comfortably just using arrows, using that to kind of figure out where the Igor is. Inch forward, wake it up, shoot some more, and pray. That's it.
And DT's about to join Tam here inside of this Eastern Palace, as now it's going to be go time for Tam as far as this dungeon is concerned. Get on over to the Armos Knights, but take it careful here, as again, this next room is going to be the tricky room with the 2.5 hearts remaining.
Yeah, might, want to drop down and grab a fairy if things get out of hand in here. Let's see.
Yeah, there's the King's Marius mat right there.
Looks like one of the Popos came down to greet Tam.
Yep, he's now looking to see where that Igor is. So he got down to a heart. So now he's just going to drop in to grab some fairy, or grab a fairy, so that way he can get himself back up to 3 hearts. Good decision to do that here.
Yeah, looked like another Popo came down to greet Tam. And you don't want to be at 1 heart in this room. Thankfully, I don't believe the Popos will respawn. So now...
Yeah, because the Igor, if it touches you, you lose 1 heart, and that's really, really difficult here. So now Tam's got the key and over there and gets it pretty well. Does not lose a single heart to the other Igor. Good job. DT with that hook shot was able to skip a couple of rooms that Tam had to go through.
Mm-hmm. Minor time saves. Let's see if DT has an easier time. Also going to be up a heart going into this dark room. And, hook shot being pretty useful at, taking out Popos as well. Being able to kill them in 1 hit. Now, I'm partially thinking, like, oh man, what if DT had gone up the mountain and, found Lamp or found this or found that? But probably hoping to find, a hammer to maybe get you over to Tower of Hera.
All right, almost time for Tam. 5 over to the right, now down here to the corner, and that is a pretty solid Armos fight. And we get Vanilla out of it. But that really doesn't move along the progression.
Yeah, so at this point, we have what? Agnes Cave over by Desert Palace. We have Zora is in Logic. And we have Inside Spectacle Cave and East Death Mountain. I believe those are about it. Oh, we haven't seen Saha's Relic. All right, here's for the chat. Here we go. Here's the funny moment when Tam pulls out a sword and a lamp. Or at least one of those 2.
Funny for who?
Get your funny bones ready. Oh. Funny for me, the viewer. Here it comes. Haha. Oh.
Titan's mid, 50 rupees and a piece of heart. Now that Titan's mid is a nice find here before going up the mountain, because, that hook shot that DT had found.
Yeah, it just means that there's probably going to be a moon pearl up on the mountain.
Yeah, and that way it's going to be getting both areas done efficiently here. Getting some people asking about what In the Name of DT sprite is. As we mentioned at the beginning of this, DT has changed away from his customary cursor sprite, and he is playing as Neil Peart of Rush.
And we got Shy Gal on the left.
DT trying to hunt down the Igor over here, get him to move. There he goes, got the key. He's got Popos coming towards him, gets that, and is in the door. Perfect there. DT does lose 1/2 of a heart to a Popo, but not as bad as that room could be. Well, there you go, DT, or there you go, Willard. There's your crab look. Good old single rupees. Not going to really help you with anything.
You never know. It could be useful. It's always worth checking if it's convenient.
Tam using Quick Swap to its power right there, switching between the bow and the bombs. Gets the hook shot coming over here on the right chest, and DT now to face off against the Armos Knights.
Now I'm curious to see if Tam's going to skip Ice Rock Cave and just head right up Death Mountain. I would contemplate that. Skip one location they could easily come back to, Ice Rock Cave, in exchange for a higher density check. But gonna go ahead and knock this out, because Moon Pearl's here, then you have so much more stuff you can do up on Dark Death Mountain.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, is if the Moon Pearl turns out to be here and you do not grab it, then you're setting yourself up for another trip up the mountain. And we've seen races that have come down to how many trips you make up that mountain. Mm-hmm. Make more trips up the mountain, then you're definitely going to be behind your opponent.
Well, the question is, though, will we see, Zora or Agnes Cave before we hit up the mountain, or...
I don't think so, not at this point. I think we go up the mountain at this stage.
But doesn't that mean that Ice Rock Cave is just as viable of a skip as Agnes Cave? I guess this one's a little... Nah, it's about the same time. Give or take.
DT walking over here to Desert, gonna see there's a single rupee there and head on over towards the Zagina that you had mentioned. So if there's something good here at this Zagina, this could give DT the early advantage in this race, but if not, then Tam may have the advantage by just skipping him, using his arsenal of items to help show him the way in this dark room with the old man, which can get a little tricky when you don't have a sword.
Yeah, you use whatever you can. Gonna get that heart piece from the old man. DT's gonna find the boots!
Oh, that's a real good find right there.
Okay, well, here's the thing now. If Tam does find the Moon Pearl up here, that Agnes Cave could get isolated for a while. But at the same time, when you have Flute this early, that's an easy one-off to go knock out early and just never have to worry about it ever again. Compared to, like, walking there from the dam or something. But
I'm almost going to believe that we're going to see progression in one of these next two checks from DT.
Oh.
Apparently not that. Not that 5 rupees.
As a runner, you gotta feel pretty dang good about seeing the boots at this point. But at the same time, it's like, man, I could have got this right after Kakarot. As soon as I left Escape, I could have had these boots.
Not when they're at Agina.
Nobody
At this point, DT's probably thinking Tam is ignoring the spot. Okay, nothing in those two spots.
I tell you, those two spots have been just terrible this tourney. I feel like they rarely have anything good in them.
Until the one see that you forget to check those locations, and they do have something. Now, DT is going to be doing something with these boots that will allow him to not only check Zora, but also check to see what we have over in the Waterfall Cave.
I like how he ran all the way over to Ice Rock Cave, even though the cave right before it also has those pits in it that you can do it and save, a couple steps. There's our Moon Pearl. Okay. Moon Pearl and Ether here in Paradox Cave. Gonna be able to go bomb jump across this gap and see what's on the floating island and then do a spiral cave check. But we have Dark World access now, and with mitts and a pearl and a bow. Ugh. Where do you go? What do you do? That does not feel like a very inviting loadout for your first trip into the Dark World. But I would assume we'd see a Village of Outcasts play down to Hype Cave, maybe even put an Off Thieves down. At first, there's our first bottle on the Zora ledge.
Zora, or getting your first bottle there, that's kind of an interesting location for that. And again, you don't know how to feel about that because, oh, that's a good find there on Zora.
DT's thoroughness is paying out. Getting the boots and a sword before heading up the mountain, so will be interesting to see when Tam gets around to that, because, Zora, that's a really kind of out-of-the-way check, really easy to put that one off at this point, until you either find flippers or, maybe consider routing it in with, like, catfish if you find the mirror.
And we get our map check. We have Crystal, or we have pendants over at Turtle Rock, the green pendants at the Palace of Darkness, and the other one is everyone's favorite pendant
Swamp?
Dungeon of this tournament, Swamp
Good old
Palace.
Swamp.
But at least we got the hookshot.
Yeah, we already got that.
We don't have to deal with any sort of shenanigans in regards to Moldorm bounces.
All right, what do we got?
There's the mirror.
Okay.
So that opens up the possibility of at least getting into the Tower of Pharaoh. Now, because we have the hookshot, we can beat this dungeon. Whether or not it's in logic, who knows? But it's a good find to have.
DT just despawning his bomb above his head. Yeah, that'll be interesting. I mean, unless Tam finds a hookshot here or the hammer here. Sword or hammer here in Hookshot Cave. That Moldworm is going to be staying alive on Tam's side.
Right. Yeah, you're right. You need to have something like that in order to defeat the Moldworm.
Not even Burna's going to help you here.
Burna's going to help against Blind, but not against Moldworm.
Yeah, I would imagine that we'll see a Hera dive, more likely on DT side versus Tam side, after clearing this Death Mountain. But we have Quake as our medallion at Turtle Rock, and this is a flute away. Where are we heading, Tam?
I think this is a flute to 3. No, it's a flute to 6. We're going to check the Mire area.
Well, this is going to work out for Tam. We're going to get some more information about our Crystal Mire. We're going to be able to get into Desert. We can check Checkerboard Cave, Mire Shed, and conveniently for Tam, getting those boots back in the cave. That's
going to be huge here for Tam. And that was Quake again for Mire, I believe.
Yeah, despite the Ether Medallion here in Paradox Cave, we're going to be needing a Quake Medallion to get into both of those dungeons. Hopefully, we'll only need to actually get into one of them.
10 arrows and 50 rupees. And even if we did get the Quake Medallion for Tam, Tam can't get in because he does not have that sword that DT got off Zora.
Yeah, and also depending on how Tam routes this, it's going to be a little bit longer before they get them boots. I think DT right now has like 5 minutes of boots time over Tam, which does speed up this Death Mountain play.
And that's also going to come into play here, the fact that DT had one mountain climb where he had the boots versus Tam, who just had to walk that mountain.
Mm-hmm. And it's a pretty long walk. Well, there you have this Desert Palace will not be boots locked. That was a map on the torch. So if we had a fire source, we'd be able to clear it right now. So I don't know if I'd want to with this loadout. I mean, we could do, NMG strats. Fighter, sword, and bow. But Tam doesn't have a sword. Burn a strats all the way.
I still remember that one tournament match that came down to Burna Strats a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, I believe.
Against Landmolas?
Nothing but Burnas against Landmolas.
Sounds fun. Sounds like something you'd see in Randomizer, or like Entered Shuffle, because Entered Shuffle's weird sometimes.
DT getting that mirror and now getting himself over here towards the Hookshot Cave as we found a piece of heart as one of the 2 items inside of this Desert Palace.
And it looks like Landmolas is going to hold on to that second item. We will not be seeing that one right now. And then I'm assuming we'll see a Checkerboard and into Agnes Cave on Tam's side. And then very likely, maybe some boots checks. Though at this point, when you have that mirror, would you rather save those boots checks till you can, route in Graveyard Ledge or something?
That might be the one that makes the most amount of sense. Of course, if you already freed up the old man, so you can just start at the mountain cave and flute to 3.
Oh, gotta be careful. Can't walk into another cactus. I don't think we've seen a cactus death in this tournament yet.
Let's not ask for the commentary death on that, or the commentary curse on that one.
I would love to see that. It would be very funny.
Tam thinking about walking up to the wall with the bomb, but realized that double beeping sound means you're not surviving it.
No. Yeah, so about 7-ish minutes, DT had the boots over Tam, so I feel like that's going to play a bit of a...
Oh, wow. That's
There
a
is
lamp
your
location.
Well, this is going to make things interesting if, Landmolas ends up having some sort of progression. Because I have a feeling DT might head in that direction right away. Yeah, I like this as well. Heading straight up the top with the Hera pot. You already got one item, good chance you'll find the second one up here, and you don't even have to worry about getting the big key.
If that lamp leads to Fire Rod, then that's bad news for Tam.
Okay, Moldworm. Do the funny. And by funny, I mean be nice. Be nice to our runners. We don't want to do the basement. It's slow. Boring. And that was
going to get shoved down the stairs.
That was exciting.
I think we qualified that as, I have not seen that before.
Yeah, that's a new one. Did he just, like, pause, or did he run into the... He must have got bopped by the hard hat beetle or something. Well, this will be fun. Fighter Sword Moldorm? I mean, this is purely...
This is NMG.
This is pure as it gets right here.
I mean, DT is a new member of the Sub 90 Club in NMG, but he's going to have to be careful here because one heart means that if Moldorm gives him a high, he's back to star. Oh!
Nailed it. No concerns at all. All right, Moldorm going to be nice? No!
Items in the big chest.
DT's going to have to make a decision here. With Mir, getting back up to Hera isn't too bad, and you could potentially hold off until maybe you find, like, Book or a sword and can... Or route in Ether Tablet, or, you know, wait until you get the hammer and come back and do Spike Cave. But he's going
back in. Because here's something interesting, the fact that he just got the lamp here, so maybe that's a sign that there's something in that big chest. Or at least maybe that's how DT's playing this out.
Now, I didn't catch anything on Tam's. I don't know if we got any items out of Skullwoods. But of course, you know, no fire rod, no sword.
The only thing I ever saw in that dungeon was small keys.
And there are quite a few of them.
There are 3 of them, and I saw all 3 of them.
All right, Tam, going to go ahead and include a check on Lumberjack. You know, having boots in hand, it's like, well, I could get this item if I found a sword and a light source, but... Gonna be relieved to see that there's nothing here.
How does DT have more hearts than Tam does at this point?
Well, when you kill the boss, it gives you a heart container, and DT's killed 1 more boss. So obviously the math checks. No, that's not true at all. I don't know. Where did he get all of them?
I know he got 1 in the waterfall, but I don't know about the other ones here. But there's the Hera pot for DT, and I guess it just add up these pieces of heart that damn really love that Bonk Rocks heart piece there. And just bombs there, but peace of mind for DT at this point.
Yeah. All right, where are we heading to next, DT? Is this going to be that desert play, the Desert Mire area? Looks like it.
It is.
All right, let's see. How about, I don't know, Quake on Land Molas to get into Mire for the hammer? Now here's a check we might not see on DT's side for a
the sword
bit.
for Tam.
DT having already done both those checks, it might be a while before he heads to Graveyard Ledge. And if he does check it, it'd be probably with a trip to Catfish all in one go. But we've seen 2 swords in 2 different places. Yeah, and I wonder, is Tam going to take this all the way over to Catfish Sword at this point? Or going to double back and go to the Village of Outcast? Because if Tam does, they'll get another sword off of Zora. And you like swords.
Based on the way that you bonked him, I don't know about this coming up here. It looks like we may be just going right back to the Village of Outcasts. Because right now our way to over the other side is by pulling off a kern jump. And maybe Tam's not ready to pull off the trigger on that one yet.
Not feeling up to it. Rather take this route, the probably, you know, the obviously higher dense route, heading through Village of Outcast. I can even check the first forward, maybe bail out at Thieves Sound and head all the way down to Hype Cave. We haven't seen Hype Cave, but, you know, Hype Cave... Oh my gosh.
There's another sword. Well,
we have tempered access at this point. Well, this is going to be good for DT, you know. That Graveyard Ledge, if he never goes to it, you know, he'll at least have access to another sword. And that's the thing, is even if Tam... Oh, here's the book. Even if Tam does eventually get to Zora, like, there is still a 4th sword out there that we don't know about, and it could be available right now at this point somewhere.
Well, we do know that there's another one available, at least for Tam, for the low, low price of 500 rupees.
Mm-hmm.
Well, where else is the other one that's in the pool? Well, of course we don't know, but we'll probably figure that out at some point in time as DT is making his way through this desert palace, and he'll be able to, again, go to Lamo coming up in just a moment. So you're hoping for maybe the Quake on Lamo.
If I was a DT fan, and I'm not saying I am, I can't say that.
He's your teammate, so you might as well.
If I was a DT fan, I'd be hoping for something on Lamo this year. Either like, well, obviously any sort of progression, but like, especially a fire-locked progression, like a fire-locked like if Fire Rod's here or something, that'd be pretty sick. If I was a DT fan. But I also kind of like that logical progression.
So
here's the thing.
Okay, let me ask you this then,
yeah,
Willard. If you're a Tam fan, what are you hoping that DT finds here?
20 rupees. Is that good enough? Is that a good answer?
That's a satisfactory answer for me.
The bad boomerang, the red one. The one thing I'm curious about is with that sword in hand and even that book, I wonder if Tam will make the trip up to Hera anytime soon, or maybe holding out for Hammer.
Oh, this is unfortunate for DT.
He's got an Igor on top of him.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem safe.
Yeah, that's an instant heart loss right there.
Gotta be a little bit careful.
All right, time to spice up more NMG strats.
Wow, that actually connected. Crazy. Down to 2 hearts. Yep, gotta be careful. If he gets into the danger zone, you might see him pull out the blue, the Burna.
Oh, there's the hammer on the dig game.
Well, that is a tasty find. I would assume that Tam's gonna go back and just finish Thieves Town. It is a crystal.
Yeah, just a piece of heart there from the Lamo, but DT getting our second crystal down.
Third, actually.
Our third crystal. He did all 3 of the lights.
Yeah. Must be nice to get them out of the way. Okay, well. What do we need? We need Quake, 100%. We know where the swords are. That's fine. We need a Fire Rod for Skull Woods. That it?
Technically, by logic, we need the flippers, but we know how people can get into Ice Palace without the flippers.
Yeah, and in this case, you don't ever want to see the flippers.
Yeah, because you're thinking of the other opposite there. You're thinking of Swamp Palace.
Ugh, Pendant Swamp. All right, well, with this route, DT's going to pick up his boots, or his book, a second sword, and eventually his hammer, while Tam grabs a cape from the smiths. And we already saw Bumper Ledge, so this cape is mostly just a filler in your inventory, maybe a quality of life upgrade if you prefer that over the Cane of Burna.
If you stick with Master Sword and you don't get the tempered, that cape is really, really good for being able to use it on Ganon.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's a very good point.
So here comes the Master Sword coming up for In the Name of DT.
Now this could be interesting. We do have a small key in the front of Thieves Town, which has some sort of logical implications in this dungeon. I guess we'll see on DT side. Well, there's our compass already, so there's a very good chance that there's an item in that big chest. So
yeah, we only got one item out of these first 4.
Yeah, and if he decides to go all the way without that hammer, he could isolate that chest if it ends up having something useful.
Nice dash up there for Tam up the that hellway.
What is gonna be next? There it
There's
is.
that
the
boomerang you were calling for.
So with that hammer in hand, we have access to quite a bit of the Dark World. You know, we can get all the way over to Pyramid logically now. Don't have to do no stinking bomb jumps. And with Hammer and Pod, no fire source. Pod is beatable. We know where the lamp is, so Pod is completely in logic. It is a green pendant, though.
Yeah. Would you really want to go through the Palace of Darkness at this point? Even though, yeah, it's for 6 items, 5 plus the green pendant.
Well, I'm kind of wondering, like, after Thieves Round, if we don't find any more progression in here.
Okay.
Okay. Suddenly things get interesting, though, because Tam will have access to Mire. No fire source.
Just 10 arrows in here, so DT's not going to be punished by going in here without the hammer.
Yeah, as long as he never has a reason to ever come back here, he'll be fine. But that's going to be burned in the back of his mind.
Yeah, but that Quake's going to send him in a different direction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the thing, is we don't have much access to Turtle Rock once DT gets that hammer, but you never know. The keys could line up that you can get all the way to Laser Bridge. It is possible. We have seen it, and it is awful.
And when you go all the way back to the back of to Laser Bridge of Turtle Rock, and all you get out of it is 10 arrows, you feel bad.
You feel real bad. You're like, okay, now I gotta go to Pendant Swamp to make up time, and then Pendant Swamp is wrong too, and you're like, ah.
And then you find out that the answer was Agina all along.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, in this case, it's not, but we're just making a hypothetical situation here.
Tam grabbing their second crystal, and, gonna do a little bit more overworld, but now the question is gonna be, we're gonna see Hera from Tam, we're gonna see... And then even after that, will we see a trip back to the desert to complete that straight into Mire? I could see that route happening. I have a feeling these players are not going to want to go to Pod anytime soon.
I'm going to assume after we see DT make the loop around that he'll go to Misery Mire. Another crystal dungeon, you can finish it.
If he does, I really hope. Well, it depends. I'd like to see...
Fire Rod!
Okay, if DT takes this route south... Oh, wait. Aren't technically they both in... They're both in Go mode now, aren't they? Technically?
Yes, they are. Well, DT will be once he gets this hammer.
Holy cow.
And that Fire Rod. At 40 minutes and 50 seconds, Tam is the first of these runners into Go mode.
Okay, well, all right. Here we go. That's the thing, though. At this point, Tam's going to put Hera off till before Ganon's Tower. 100%. So the question is, will Tam get that lamp? For Dark Rooms, the only ones we really have is Mire. And
I think if you still have Master Sword when you go up there, you will grab that lamp. It's a security measure in case something goes awry during the Ganon fight.
Mm-hmm. Now I wonder, is DT going to grab the Smith or head straight south?
I think at this point you have to do the traditional route. You grab the Smith, then you do hammer pegs, or you do hammer pegs with the Smith, and then you grab the purple chest and you make your loop around. Then you get the Fire Rod and you're like, oh, okay.
Well, at this point, 100%, DT is not getting that sword from Graveyard Legend. Tam is never getting that sword from Zora. So,
this game is silly like that.
If we're getting a Tempered Sword, it's going to be somewhere completely new or not at all. And the fact that we have that knowledge and they don't is very hilarious. So, yeah, right now, just because of DT getting that sword and going to Hera, he's up 2 crystals to 2, or he's up 4 to 2 right now.
You know the crazy thing about this, Willard?
Mm.
They're going to have to do this without any safeties. No bottles.
Yeah, I mean, there's a good chance we'll probably stumble upon a bottle at some point, hopefully for them. Half magic would be nice to find, but I could see a bottle showing up. We did see one on Zora's Ledge, but we're not going to be getting that one anytime soon. Or at all.
So this is going to come down to execution specialties here for both of these runners. There's a first.
Okay, now we're actually in logic. Wow, what an incredible jet seed. So, as a runner, when you see a seed like this, you're thinking, okay, the better execution runner wins. So, I got what I wanted. I wanted to see a game come down to execution. I just wasn't expecting it to start this soon.
40 minutes in.
Yeah, I know.
All right, Dan making his way over towards Ice Palace as DT gets the fire rod for go mode at 43-40. He's probably going, what in the hell?
He should just go ahead and turn in that purple chest anyway. It's right there.
Yeah, he knows it right
Come
now.
on.
There he goes.
Bye, Tempered Sword. See you.
Tam is making this check right here. He'll get an extra heart container out of it, but I think at this point you go to Ice Palace.
Yeah, this is not a Zora play. This is check some free things right before Ice Palace, and it's gonna work out. You know, going into Ice Palace with, what was it, 6 hearts? That's kind of scary. That's a little terrifying with green mail and no safeties.
Yeah, that's why Tam is checking these extra checks at this point. I mean, DT knows where there's the bottle if he wants to chase it down, but that's going to be a lengthy trip.
Yeah, we're all tied up on hearts now. Total hearts, at least. Oh, this is gonna be a quick one, Rick.
Yeah, we may need to check with our commentary for the second half of this doubleheader. Make sure that they're awake and ready to go. Make sure their alarms are off at the right time.
As a person that plays this game quite a bit, I do enjoy. Oh wow, the red potion! What a clutch check! I mean, it's on the way. You know, if it ends up being like a big key, then you can save a little bit of time not having to run back and hit this switch and stuff to route this dungeon. So, really good heads-up play.
That is really good news, and I think DT will stumble across that. Because you're going to be checking for Tempered Sword with only 7 hearts. At least the ones that are conveniently on the way. And you know the nice thing about the icebreakers, the fact that all of these checks are now on the way.
Yeah, the thing about this is that, you know, as a runner at this point, if you're one of these runners, you got to be freaking out. You're like, oh, I just got to play the game good now, and that's terrifying. Now,
one big thing here is Tam cannot use all of his magic here on Icebreaker. Used a couple of shots and hopes the keys line up so he can get into that room to the right-hand side. Looks like they will at this point because he got that one key in the big key chest. Well, he's not going to grab that one. Okay, that's interesting.
Right, now
there's the foot
is
DT.
Technically in actual real go mode now. Yeah, you know, a lot of players will like to check like double freezer on their way through a go mode Ice Palace just because it's a real quick check, but you know, magic consumption is a thing. Yeah, we might even end up seeing here some like Sword Beam Cold Stare.
He's gonna have to do Sword Beam Cold Stare, I think. I don't know if he's got enough magic available to him to top out his magic meter. He might.
Yeah, this is kind of the risk of Icebreaker. I mean, you only really need to get one of the sword beams to connect.
He has to get a sword beam to connect. Here we go.
Is it gonna work?
Yeah, I think he's got it. Yep.
Oh, beautiful.
There we go. Beautiful job.
Now still has to beat the boss. It's not over yet, but the scary part's not over yet.
Well, red potion means at least you got a little bit of a safety room for wiggle here. Yeah, and if you use this red potion, you're going right straight to fill up with a blue potion.
Let's see if DT decides to grab that red here.
Yeah, he is.
Smart play. Gonna work out. That's one puff down. Okay, yeah, good idea. You're basically one. Well, now you could take an icicle, but you don't want to be one hit KO with a cold stare puff because sometimes they go zooming.
Yeah, you don't know when they decide they want to go after you like that. Better to be safe than to be back at start salty because you just took the death.
Yeah, I'm also noticing DT down a little bit of magic as well. He might go ahead and grab that extra key and grab the extra magic down there. I don't think I've ever seen him go for sword beam strats on Cold Stare. I mean, it also depends on how his Icebreaker goes. He's usually pretty consistent, though he does a really weird setup. I am terrified of select buffering because I'm always afraid I'm going to accidentally save and quit.
There we go. That's good there. DT gets it. Only one shot he needed to use for that. And here is the purchase of the blue potion for Tam.
The one and only.
And DT's going to bypass that key as well.
I think DT should be fine with the 2 magic decanters right before the fight.
Yeah, he's got enough magic.
Yeah, all Tam has to do is, survive this mire, finish off Lamola's, and then head up and the quickest of Herapots. Probably not going to see that lamp on Tam's side, which brings up another scary point. That's going to mean if we don't find a Tempered Sword or like half magic or any of those extra safeties, it might lead to a slower Phase 4 Ganon having to... Well, actually... Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah, this is interesting. For those wondering where that lamp is, it's downstairs in the what is it, the prison they call it? Or the cage?
Hey, DT just proved me wrong with them slick sword beams.
And he's also got room for a couple of fire rod shots there too. This is a solid, at least for now, fight.
He's still good. He can take that hit.
Took the damage there from the icicle, which was, I thought he was going to get hit by the puffs. That was actually good there. That's a good Cold Stare there for In the Name of DT. As he grabs those 3 bombs, he's got to go do Mire. He's got to then head on go over to Ganon's Tower. Tam still has to do Desert and the Tower of Hera. Not long sections that Tam needs to do, but they are things that Tam still needs to do that DT has already done. There's the Ice Rod.
Of course.
Gabe, you're silly.
So yeah, Tam, a little bit of a lead heading into Mire. DT's not going to be too far behind, but yeah, has to go back, kill Lamola's. DT going to go ahead and buy that arrow upgrade, giving him 35. At the same time, like, when you have Master Sword and Cape, I love using those strats against Vidi if I can. It's safe. You can just do like the Master Sword spam, which makes so your Cape doesn't use up as much magic as fast. It's a safe play. It's a little slow, but it's safe.
Safe is better than taking it overly aggressive and getting yourself a free pass to start right now. Little do these 2 runners know that a major mistake at this point will take them out of this match.
Now the question on DT's side, though, there's the big key here in Mire. Gonna do a gonna do a quick little, gonna do a quick little rail clip.
There we go.
First try, and then head on over to Vidi. Now, what I'm wondering on DT's side, he does have that red potion that he got in Ice Palace. I wonder if he's gonna like use it up so he can actually bring a blue one with him to the rest of the game, because you're gonna get a lot more value out of blue potion over a red one.
For those just tuning in here at 51 minutes in, we are in go mode. We were in go mode at 40 plus minutes in. This is a really, really fast seed for both of these runners. Once we found the fire rod in cave 45, that was it. In the Name of DT got his first sword by way of Zora. Tam's first sword was by way of Graveyard Ledge, and neither of these 2 have seen that other sword.
Nor will they. Now, DT could lose a little bit of time here, depending on how he decides to route Misery Mire. Going to go ahead and grab this Ice Rod, and then it's just a matter of, committing to the full cutscene check or doubling back to check the lobby chest, which is where the big key lies.
Tam is having quite a bit difficulty here, at least through the first sections of Dark Mire, but does get it done there. All right. I thought they were still in the first room. I was keeping focus on DT for a little bit here. And getting that map in the compass chest, I don't think it's an incentive to go and do the cutscene. And DT is actually just not going to even bother with the compass chest.
Going to save a little bit more time. I don't know if DT... We'll see if DT does that rail clip as well or not. It's like the answer is no.
Not to at this point.
Yeah, DT saving a little bit of time here. And gonna definitely save a little bit of time as well in that dark room, having that lamp from Tower of Hera. Honestly, this is going to be interesting. I think that lamp might actually play a super crucial part in how the rest of this race goes.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with that lamp is, as we've made mention before, Ganon.
Mm-hmm. Especially with just the one safety. If you're doing Master Sword spins with only Fire Rod and only one bottle, it'd be a little dicey. Yeah, I'm loving. Oh,
yeah.
Those things do 4 hearts, don't they? If they touch you.
Yeah, and Tam. Oh wow.
It's okay. You could take a lightning bolt, but that only does 2 hearts of damage. So, but that was a little spicy.
Yeah, that was a little too close for comfort. There we go. The 8 arrows now to the eyeball for Tam. As yeah, DT will be the first one to Ganon's tower because as DT's finishing off this finishing off Misery Mire, Tam will be making the way over to Lambola.
Yeah, with a race this close, the last thing you want to see, I would hate to see any sort of boss death at this point.
Absolutely.
Because I want this to be close to the end. I want that nail biter.
I want to see good execution here from both of these runners, and so far we have gotten it. Please follow both of these runners. Great runners. They've played this game for a long, long time, and we are getting ourselves a treat here in this game 1. We got another game after this.
Okay, DT going for the cape spins. So not going to be able to take all of them out on spins alone, but, you know, a couple arrows, finish it off. Actually going to end up being a little bit faster. Yeah, don't want to stay out of the goo.
Yeah, stay out of the goo there because you don't want to get hopped on by the eyeball afterwards to get yourself a free pass to start. DT now is going to be grabbing his 7th and final crystal and making his way to Ganon's tower. And, somebody's jumping the gun. Your people are jumping the gun. I haven't even started to say the spiel yet. I haven't said the spiel yet.
What are you talking about? I don't see nothing. I have that part of my monitor blocked off by this cup of coffee I'm currently drinking.
Oh, fine. Ladies and gentlemen, there are 22 possibilities in Ganon's Tower where the big key can be. Pick a number between 1 and 22. Tell us where you believe the big key to Ganon's Tower will be. Willard, where do you think it is?
9.
You always say 9.
I don't even know why. It means nothing to me. But it's a funny number. Rick, what's your guess, bud?
I'm going to say 7.
Oh. Well, how about that? So, what did this lead come down to? Was it purely because of DT's unwillingness to dive the mountain, you know, head up the mountain until he's cleared everything he could below the mountain in the light world, finding a sword on Zora, finding the boots from Agnes Cave early, and then having that sword allow him to do Tower of Hera the first time he was there, get that lamp, which allowed him to do Desert the first time he was there, these tiny little time saves. Also, I mean, even Tam running over, checking Graveyard Ledge, which was a good play because there was a sword there, very important, but yeah, just being a little bit more thorough at the beginning of the game ended up giving DT the slight lead. It's going to still be really close because Hera is very fast. Also, DT has to be very careful.
Lionel's hurt.
Yes, they do.
But yeah, that pretty much is what this came down to, is the fact that, I mean, those boots weren't a massive advantage here for DT, but, you know, you're talking about a race here that could very well be done in under an hour and 10.
And at this point, you got to be thinking, where's my opponent? Did they get those boots sooner? Did they die to a cold stare or Vidi? Where's my tempered sword? We might still find the 4th sword up here.
Yeah, we could. This is hilarious. And Tam taking a safe with the King of Burna Strat's magic powder. That's a good safety to have. Okay, DT grabbing 2 chests on the right, heading potentially full left all the way to Ice Realms. Let's see what Tam decides to do. Gonna look for a nice shovel. Yeah. Tam just checking the quick and easy chests along the way and then going for that Hera pot. So yeah, so he's not getting that lamp.
The other thing I want to point out is DT only has that red, does not have that blue potion that Tam purchased. There's the big key.
Oh, number 3. Or number 4, rather.
The quickest of
Number
DTs.
4.
Okay, well, at this point, if we're going to get another sword, it's got to be upstairs. Otherwise, we're not going to be seeing one.
Damn, going with hammer strats, which will make the Moldorm fight a little bit faster than what we saw from the name DT earlier. If the Moldorm cooperates, stop twirling around in a circle. There we go.
Nice hitbox. Well, I gotta say, Rick, at this point, I don't want to see a sword upstairs. I want to see this beautiful low percent strats coming in for this Ganon fight. I want it. Now, I'm really curious, though. If we don't find another, like, potion upstairs, I wonder if DT will go get a potion, maybe. Because that's...
I think the magic powder makes the decision a little bit maybe easier with the regards to Ganon's Tower. The fact that now you do have access to the refill on the 6th floor.
Well, I'm not worried about health. I'm worried about magic. Because you don't want to be doing lamp Phase 4 Ganon. That's no fun. And it's really slow.
Yeah.
And if you mess it up, then you have to go and get more magic.
Yeah, I think you have enough to get you through the fight there with the lamp there. But I mean, maybe DT finds half magic on this climb up.
Maybe. All right, Tam, I'm going to be following the exact same route.
Of course, this game giving us magic jars drops here, and this gauntlet helps out.
And that's another thing here. Tam's not going to be able to just wail on landmolls with a fire rod. He's got to save a little bit of magic for, you know, either the wizard room or even the torch room. Got to have enough magic to get through those torches without the lamp.
He still has the blue goo in his pocket, but I don't think he wants to use it until he gets to Ganon. And don't forget, we do have a game number 2 coming up after this.
Okay, DT gonna have to use the bow for this wizard's room. Want to conserve magic, so gonna lose a little bit of time here, especially with that unfortunate whiff. Maybe the wizard's will be nice and will drop a full magic. Nope, just a heart and 5 arrows. Though I'm sure he probably wanted both of those. No drops. Gotta go back and kill the Zizaks. They were dropping full magics, or the mimics here also dropping full magics.
Yeah, the whiz robes are dropping arrows.
Okay, gonna grab this small here, enough to get the magic. Gonna grab the full magic, and then we'll 100% see everything here. Up the top, looking for that tempered sword or half magic.
Oh, DT playing it safe here. First of all, not making sure he doesn't get a despawn, but also making sure that he doesn't get crushed by those lasers. That's not a good place. You want to get sent back to a start. 300 rupees. And
20 bucks.
20 bucks. $320 so far here on the 6th floor. Ether stress for Tam.
It's a quick way to deal with them.
There's the powder usage for DT. Gets a 20 there.
That has to be an armor
That has to
upgrade.
be either the silvers or a mail upgrade at this point.
Because we are still looking for lots of items. Well,
That
we're not looking,
is
but we're wondering.
Real perk sprite for DT, yes. And there's the final hit to the Moldorm 2. What do we got inside the final chest? Number 27 of Ganon's Tower.
The map.
The map.
To Ganon's Tower. Okay, Tam, utilizing that fire rod in the previous rooms, gonna end up probably using that blue potion on the climb, and then I'm gonna have to go buy another one. So this is a tough situation to be in, because you know you want to do this fight fast, but you gotta save that magic if you can. You know, despite all that, I mean, this still is a relatively close race, and anything can happen with this Ganon fight. Nice. That looked like a triple to me. Oh.
Don't walk into Ganon, please. There we go.
He did it intentionally because he wanted to use his potions, because he's gonna go buy a blue one. Heads up play. This is a fun race. This is a good race, Rick.
Yeah, I know I keep remarking about it. We got another one coming up. JP and Sorcerer Finch are going to be on the call for that match. That should be a lot of fun.
I forgot we had not seen what was on the pyramid. Imagine if that was a tempered sword or a half magic or even just like a blue bottle sitting right there.
Damn, now making it up to the 6th floor. Will not find a Master Sword on this climb. Or rather, a Tempered Sword.
So yeah, with very little help. Cape will be nice. A full magic bar, an extra blue potion, or a blue potion, an extra magic bar, basically. I mean, this is as equipped as these runners are gonna get.
Yeah. And this is a low health situation. This is what you kind of expect for a spoiler open race. But yeah, this was a tournament match here. Game number 1 between these two in the lower bracket finals. Winner of this series goes on to brackets. The loser, unfortunately, is done with the tournament.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that it came down to these two having to fight for a tournament spot, because I 100% think that both of them definitely deserve a spot. But that's a rando for you.
I mean, that's the nature of the groups. I mean, Tam lost 2-1 against Fred in the upper bracket first round. Then DT fell to Fred 2-1 in round number 2 to set up this pairing here. One of these move on in the brackets. The other one, they'll probably be playing a whole bunch of ladder.
Okay, well, unfortunately on DT's side, taking a really early trident hit, taking him down to basically 1-hit KO. Well, mostly, kind of. Having to utilize his blue potion already, so we are going to end up seeing these lamp strats on phase 4, which are slow.
Yeah. Better to be safe than sorry at this stage. Now, you do have enough magic to get all 24 if you needed it, but you kind of got to get some lamps in there too if you're not going to get triples all the way.
Yeah, I would assume Tam's going to go get a blue potion here as well, because...
No, nice right there. Gets 1 hit and also gets the glitch. There's 2 for DT.
Was a little risky, I'd say.
3. Waiting for that torch to go get some fired over here. That's going to be 4. To the top right, that's going to be 5. To the bottom middle, that's 6. 24 spins to win. 7. Here's 8. There's 9 for DT. Over, didn't get that one, so he's only going to get a double on this cycle. That's 10.
Yeah,
and 11. Switch to the fire rod.
Start using fire rod. He's got plenty of magic now.
2 to 12. There's 13. DT going for 14 right there. Gonna have to light the torch here. Good spot. Gets 15. To the top. 16. 8 more to go. 17. 18 there for DT. Now over here at the bottom right for 19. There's 20. 2 more torches that he needs to light. 21. Over here to 22, to the bottom middle for 23. 1 more torch light, and then 24 for DT. And that does it. DT has done it, and he will take a 1-0 series lead on Tam here in the lower bracket finals.
GG's in chat for In the Name of DT. I was holding my breath that time. So thanks for counting, Rick.
Tam over here, continuing on with this fight, down to 3 hearts. Switches over to the cape. At least we'll go ahead and use that for a little bit. Oh my goodness, what a game 1.
What an incredible game 1. You know, it's kind of nice to get the jet seat out of the way, because you know game 2 is going to be awful with all the worst things that, you know, Twitch chat would love to construct. You know, I take it back. Lamp strats on phase 4, not that slow. Not that bad. Take it back. But yeah, what a seed. Wow. When stuff, you know, as soon as that hammer showed up, we started talking about where this and that could be, and then all of a sudden, they were just right there.
Boom, boom, and there we are. Go mode at 40 minutes.
Sometimes the game just lines up perfectly to give you those kind of crazy seeds. I can't imagine what these runners are feeling, though. That's got to be, you know, what, 43 minutes of was when we hit go mode roughly. So that's like, 23, 24 minutes of just pure execution. And try not to look over at the Race Time GG channel too often.
Oh, yeah, for certain. Here goes Tam going into stage number 4. Good, gets the torch glitch. That's very important in this aspect here. There's the 1, and there's 2. We got to relight the torch now. We got 1 more fire rod shot before we have to refill our magic. Full magic bar, you're going to have 8 shots of magic.
Yeah, can't. I think Tam could maybe miss 1 fire rod shot and be fine. Because sometimes it's really easy to be stand a little too high and just completely whiff the fire rod shot. But you'd be counting right now. Man, I just love that we got Mash's sword, and 2 of the swords we got, only 1 of them each got. Like, that's...
Yeah.
This would have been a completely different game if 1 player got, a 3rd sword.
Yeah, for certain. It's just a completely crazy seed. Damn, continuing to do this fight. Justice. Master Sword Ganon strats are no joke.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Phase 1 and Phase 2 are a lot harder than Phase 4. Phase 4 is just all about rhythm and breathing.
Making sure your nerves don't get to you. There's the 24th for Tam.
Nice. Close race. Just a couple early decisions gave DT just enough time to inch out a win in this race. Up a game with another one well along the way, chat. So stick around. We got more Tam versus DT coming right up. Rick, it's been a blast.
Oh, absolutely. We're just going to go ahead and let the 2 runners calm down here between games number 1 and 2. And we'll get things going for game number 2 between these 2 coming up in just a few minutes. We do want to shout out Iceman F1 for clicking the buttons for us and making sure that we stay honest here in the commentary booth here. So coming up in just a few minutes here on Speed Gaming, we're going to have game number 2 between these 2. Featuring the call of Brewers fan JP and Sorcerer Finch. That's going to be fun. Willard, this has been fun.
It was. I had a blast. Thanks for having me. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you in the next one.
All right. So we'll go ahead and take a little bit of a break. And coming up in just a little bit, we will have game number 2 between these 2 in just a little bit. I'm Adirondack Rick. He's Willow J. Bradley. Let's get us a little bit of a break. And Bruce Fan JP, Sorcerer Finch will be along with us for game number 2 coming up in about 10 or so minutes from now.